Chaitanya Charitamrita, Madhya Leela, Chapter 6, Text 163. Gita Shastre Jiva Rupa Shakti Kari Mane He na Jive Bheda Kare Ishware Rasane. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is continuing his discussion with Sarvam Bhattacharya. And now he is quoting Bhagavad Gita. Gita Shastre Kahe Jiva Rupe Shakti Kare Mane. In the Bhagavad Gita is described the nature of the Jiva is as the energy of Krishna. Shakti Kare Mane. And this is referring of course to Apareyamitastvanyam Prakritim Vidyame Param Jiva Bhutam Mahabaho Yedam Dharete Jagat. These two verses will be quoted next. This is 7.5 and previous to this 7.4. Bhumira Ponalo Vayu Khammano Budre which Ahankara Itiyam Vinna Prakritashtadha. So 7.4 describes the material energy as divided into 8 categories: earth, water, fire, air, ether, intelligence, earth, water, fire, air, ether, intelligence, mind, intelligence, and ego. And then the next verse describes the soul as another energy, a superior energy, and for whom the world is maintained. Now here it is stated, Gita Shastre. So in this Bhagavad Gita it is stated that the Jiva is the energy of the Lord, and yet you say that the Jiva is entirely different from the Lord. Now what is the point that is being made over here? So actually speaking, the Jiva is not entirely one with the Absolute, nor is the Jiva entirely separate from the Absolute. So both are extremes. The Jiva is connected with the Absolute, but not one with the Absolute. It's connected as the energy is connected with the energetic. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu continues here and says, Ishwarera Shri Vigraha Satchitanandakar Se Vigraha Kaha Sattva Gunera Vikar. Ishwarera Shri Vigraha. So the form of Ishvara, of the Supreme Lord, Satchidananda Akar. It is Satchitananda. Se Vigraha Kahe Sattva Gunera Vikar. Se Vigraha Kaha. So that form you are saying is simply a transformation of the mode of goodness. Sattva Guna Vikar. Now Shri Vigraha Yena Mane Seita Pashandi Adrushya Sprushya Sei Hai Yamadandi. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu becomes very strong and he says that one who considers this Ishvara, this Vigraha, one who does not accept it, yet the passion, such a person is like an atheist. And such a person, Adrushya Sprushya, one should not be seen and should not be touched. Seiha Yamadandi. Such a person is going to be punished by Yamaraj because, suppose someone says that if there is a prisoner and there is a door out of the prison and somebody tells the prisoner that, oh, this is not a door out of a prison, this is a door into the deeper prison, then that sort of misleading is very harmful, because then the prisoner's chances of getting out of the prison are almost ruined. So like that, the form of the Lord is supremely auspicious. It is the form of the Lord that enables us to become liberated from the forms of this world. But when we assume that form to be mundane, as the impersonalists do, then the result is that form can no longer be. So people do not feel inspired to devote themselves to that form, and when they don't devote themselves to the form of the Supreme Lord, then they become devoted. Then they cannot break free from their infatuation with the worldly forms, because we hunger for beauty, we thirst for beauty, we long for beauty, and if we don't find beauty at the spiritual level, which is actually like the path out of the prison, then that is greatly misleading. Then we stay bound to the attachment to material forms. Now, of course, it could be said that The impersonalists don't exactly say that the form of the Lord is also a way into the prison, because they say that yes, you can come out from Rajasic and Tamasic prison to a Sattvic prison by meditating on the form, Sattva-guna Ravikar, because it is a transformation of the mode of goodness. So they say that, okay, you can come to a better grade prison from which there is a better chance of eventually getting liberated. But still, the point remains that they are still considering the Lord's form to be still a cell in the prison only. An attachment to the form of the Lord as the pathway not to coming out of the prison cell, but as a pathway to just going to a better kind of prison cell. That's all. So those people who think that we are seeking, who think that we should seek liberation seriously, they think that we have to go beyond all forms, and therefore we need to go beyond even the form of the jiva. And if that is the case, that to go beyond the form of the jiva, then what is the hope? Then there is really not much hope for the souls to move out of material existence, for the souls to attain Krishna, for the souls to, even if they feel that Krishna is a product of illusion, they don't want to attain Krishna, but for them to even come out of material existence, there is not much hope left if they consider the form which is meant to bring them out as a way inside and not as the way outside. This is how the souls become entangled in material existence deeper. And because of misleading thus, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says that Adrushya Sprushya Sei Hayamadandi. Such people should not be seen, should not be touched. Why? Because by associating with them, by seeing and hearing, seeing, touching, we basically associate with them. And by associating with them, we run the risk of getting their misconceptions. And if we get the misconception, then we stay bound in material existence. And because they are misleading people, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says that they are Yamadandi. They will be punished by Yamaraj. Vedana maniya bauddha hayata nastik. Vedashraya nastika vadya bauddha ke adhik. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is now saying that those who do not accept the authority of the Vedas, they are the Buddhists, they are considered Nastik. But those who claim to take shelter of the Vedas, but thereafter Nastikyavad, Bauddha ke adhik, but thereafter they teach Nastikvad, they are worse than the Buddhists. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is very strongly condemning impersonalists here, saying that just like a thief committing a robbery is bad, but a thief wearing the dress of a police and then committing robbery is worse. So materialistic people take people away from God, from devotion to God, from surrender to God, and that's what materialistic people are expected to do. But when some materialistic people or people with materialistic mentality and take on a spiritual garb and start speaking spiritual sounding jargon, but then they tell people that you don't have to surrender to God because there is no such thing as God, actually speaking, because we are all God, and the personal God is something which is transitional, and you have to go beyond the personal God to the impersonal God. So these people are quoting Shastra, are arrogating themselves to themselves the authority of Shastra, and then are misleading people, and that's why that is very strongly condemnable. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says that such people are actually Bauddha ke adhik, they are worse than the Buddhists. And Jivera Nishdara Lagi Sutra Kaila Vyas Mayavadi Bhashya Suni Hare Sarvanash. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu now goes on to give the broader picture, and he says that actually Vyasadeva has written his sutras, Vyasasutra, so that people can get liberated from material existence. But the Mayavadis, their commentary misleads people by taking them away from the form of the Lord, and thus it ruins the prospects of the impersonalists, of the seekers. And thus Maya is a famous phrase, famous section of a verse is called Mayavadi Bhashya Sunile Hai Sarvanash. So we have to be very careful to not let ourselves hear or be misled by the words of the Mayavadis. Thank you.